The truth is, though, that few of us have really had a chance to explore everything the city has to offer. But recently we met a fellow who's come pretty darn close.
I've often said that you could blindfold me and drop me into any place in the city, and within a couple minutes, I'd know exactly where I'm at.
Buzz Brooks has been driving a DeSoto cab in and around San Francisco for a quarter century.
You feel like you own it, and there's no neighborhood that intimidates you.
Oh, look at that. You're dodging. Look at that. Those guys are stuck there. We're going down here.
Yeah.
Today, we're hopping in Buzz's cab for a tour around San Francisco, visiting some of his favorite spots. Our tour begins at Buzz's house. High on a hill just south of the city, it boasts a fabulous view, even on a gray day.
You can see from the Farallones all the way to Mount Diablo on a really clear day here.
But it's not just the sights that make Buzz's home special. It's also the sounds. Buzz is an accomplished musician. Before we hit the road, he treats the Backroads crew to a familiar tune.
Okay, now where are we going to go, Buzz? Where are we headed?
A place that I noticed on the map that looks suspiciously like an oval sort of thing, like it might have been a racetrack at one time, and we did a little research, and sure enough, it turns out that it is a racetrack.
It's called Ingleside Terraces, a quiet neighborhood off Ocean Avenue. We head to Urbano Drive, a mile-long loop.
I don't think I've ever actually driven around the thing.
You've driven the racetrack?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do some laps. They're off! And here we go.
Coming down the backside there.
Going back in the stretch, in the stretch.
The track's history stretches back to 1895. For 10 years, it was a popular spot for both horse racing and car racing. After the track closed, a developer started building houses without disturbing the track's original shape. Nowadays, you'll find hundreds of homes on and around the track, which people like to circle on foot or by bicycle. You'll also find a giant sundial built to draw attention to the housing development when it opened in 1913.
Well, what's kind of interesting is to have a sundial in one of the foggiest places in the whole Bay Area.
For example, what time is it now?
In fact, it's time to move on, so we head west. Sloat Avenue brings us to the Pacific. A short drive north on the Great Highway takes us to the city's western edge and a popular destination for many folks who ride in Buzz's cab.
The Cliff House would be a big destination, I bet, for tourists who come here and say...
Yeah, oh yeah, they have a great time out here.
Since 1863, several different buildings have stood on this spot. The present Cliff House went up in 1909. It's now part of the Golden Gate National Parks. A renovation completed in 2004 gives restaurant goers a view that's better than ever.
We got probably 230 degrees now, where before we had 180. So we're catching more of the headlands and more of the gate.
Dan Huntalis runs the Cliff House, continuing a long family tradition in this neighborhood. His parents ran a snack shop nearby, starting in the 1920s. Dan grew up 2 blocks away and says his father taught him how to talk to the seals that play right off the coast.
If I were a seal, how would you talk to them? Is that a kind of San Franciscan accent?
That's a Seal Rock accent.
Seal Rock accent. If you talk like that up in Seattle or someplace.
It won't work.
What does work is the blending of old and new at the Cliff House, a place distinguished by its beautiful scenery and strong family legacy.
Thank you.
That legacy also lives on just up the street at Louis' Restaurant, owned by Dan's cousins. Louis has long been one of my favorite spots for breakfast or lunch.
And I've been coming here for, oh man, for a long time.
1937.
Well, not that long.
Bill Huntalis and his brother Tom run the restaurant, which their grandfather opened long before they were born. Today, it's still a friendly neighborhood place with good, hearty food, a spectacular view, and plenty of loyal customers.
What are you up to?
Although I'm the one who picked Louis for lunch, it's Buzz who runs into two old pals from San Francisco's music scene.
This is your other half of your life.
Yeah, yeah.
Once we've had some lunch, we're on the move again. Our next stop is clear across town, but that's no problem for Buzz. After 25 years driving a cab, he has a map of the city burned in his brain.
Gonna go down Stanton, catch Oak, all the way in Oak to Laguna, straight across Market onto Guerrero Street. We're gonna make a left on 14th. We're gonna go to Harrison. We're gonna make a left on 16th. We're gonna go over and try to get Kansas Street or something like that. To Harrow, I don't care. Rhode Island doesn't matter to me. Up the hill, boom, boom, right turn, Vermont Street. Hello, Crooked Street.
Nope, not Lombard. We're going down San Francisco's real crookedest street.
You know what we're gonna do is we're gonna count the switchbacks.
This is going to be number 2 over here. 2.
Okay.
Between 20th and 22nd, Vermont winds through 7 switchbacks
Whoa, 3.
in a shorter distance than Lombard's 8 curves.
It's tighter than Lombard. Well, I don't know. It seems a little tighter than Lombard. 7 and out.
7 and out, basically.
Crookedest street
in San Francisco.
In San Francisco.
After that wild ride, we're ready to visit a peaceful place. And that's just what Buzz has in mind, pointing the taxi toward the Presidio's Crissy Field. Once a military airstrip, Crissy Field is now a jewel of San Francisco's waterfront. 100 acres of wild shoreline and restored marshland within the Golden Gate National Parks.
This is one of my favorite spots down here, right by the bridge.
Beautiful.
The Warming Hut is a cafe and bookstore that plows its profits back into the national parks. It offers many wonderful books about San Francisco's wildlife and history.
And you know what else?
What else?
It's a good place to get a latte and go out and see the Golden Gate Bridge before it gets dark.
Well, I think we should do that.
My day exploring the city streets with Buzz has been a fun journey, full of laughter and living history. It's a reminder that there's no city quite like San Francisco, where endless discoveries remain just a cab ride away.
Well, salute, man.
Salute,
Thank you.
salute. Thank
Good
you.
driving.
All right.
Buzz Brooks and other cab drivers offer personal tours by cab. For more information about taxi tours and the places we visited today, go to our websites, BayAreaBackroads.com or Cron4.com, or call Backroads Hotline.